coming out and attacking right away over there on mat number 5.
And he said it, Dave. Bettendorf's attacking style is something you're going to notice right off the bat if you haven't paid attention to it. Every one of their wrestlers attack, attack, attack. They don't waste time. They're usually in on the legs quickly. Obviously, we have Jacob Allison of Waukee and Gage Perrin on mat 3. And as we mentioned, also Brody Teskey, the Fort Dodge freshman, versus McGuire Midkiff on mat 4.
Up on 5, you're talking about one of those Bettendorf wrestlers right there.
Yeah, the returning champion, Jack Wagner of Bettendorf, taking on Zane Mulder of Dallas Center Grimes, and then Austin Yount and Tristan Lara, another Fort Dodge kid over here at 113 on mat 6. So there's your first 4 matchups.
The Fort Dodge kids are representing here early, but this Bettendorf match is one they're expecting, aren't they, guys, at this point? I mean, Wagner's been nails.
I mean, they're in a situation right now to where Bettendorf, they need some bonus points. This is the biggest round for team points right here, in advancement points. Bettendorf coming out right strong over there, over there, mat number 5. Wagner, he's done a good job. He beat, Cedar Rapids Jefferson's Brendan Baker in a tight, hard-fought match in the quarterfinals earlier today, to put himself into the semis here against Mulder. And he's got to a commanding 9-3 lead right now, and still trying to build on that lead because, again, Bettendorf needs as many bonus points as they can get. And Southeast Polk over here just gave up a takedown. So now that score, I believe, is 3-2.
Yes.
Perrin over, Allison of Waukee over Perrin of Southeast Polk right now.
Allison favored in there, higher in the rankings, higher finish in the conference. Perrin slid a little bit towards the end of the season from a 2 ranking down to a 9 ranking. A couple tough losses down the stretch there. But Wagner, as you mentioned, a chance to get bonus points here. He's got to be going for the fall. Mulder's a guy who got in here. The benefit of some attrition earlier, as we mentioned, attrition again. Baker, Nathan Lent of Southeast Polk, they had a dogfight in the first round, and then Wagner got the winner. It got past Baker, so he's already faced, on paper, the toughest guy he's going to face. But at this point, it's all dangerous.
They got a lot of momentum in the semifinals last year at this time, didn't they? This is right where Bettendorf started making their run.
It is. This is where they picked up a lot of points. They're looking to do it again. They know they're not out of it. Right now, they're down by a lot of points, but it's just not out of the question for them. As mat 3 comes to the end of the first period with Allison up 3-2. Commanding lead for Wagner, 12-3 on mat 5.
Yep.
Bettendorf. And as you forget,
it's a dog. Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Teskey and Midkiff here on mat 3. The Fort Dodge freshman, McGuire Midkiff, wrestling really well right now with a 3-2 lead. As I mentioned, he's the winger champion. He beat Harlan Steffensmeyer there. Look at Yount work on mat 6.
Yeah, Yount is tough. I mean, he's really tough. He's taking on Lara from Fort Dodge. And that Fort Dodge team, they're really coming on. They're having a great tournament, scoring a lot of points. They're in a dogfight right now for 3rd place against Cedar Rapids Prairie. So the Lara brothers right now kind of leading the pack for them. And but Yount of Waverly Shellrock right now, and Waverly Shellrock, they've been in this situation many times. I mean, they've got a lot of state championships up there, individual and team, so they're no stranger to the rain, and they're going to come out here and try and win, as many individual titles as they can get. Yount coming in, he's only a sophomore, 42-13 record coming in, and Lara from Fort Dodge, Tristan Lara from Fort Dodge, is also a sophomore, 38-3 record coming in this tournament.
Yeah, Yount placed 7th last year, Mark, and just Eric Whitcomb trying to get Waverly Shellrock right back where they were when they were just winning it every year. Seems like Southeast Polk and Bettendorf have taken the place of Iowa City West and Waverly Shellrock. Whether that'll continue is yet to be seen. Whitcomb would like to change that, but both of these guys, too, have beaten Brendan Baker in the past. They're capable, very capable wrestlers. They'd like to get a shot at the Wagner winner over there. Looks like Wagner in control, 16-6.
We're still in the second period with this. You can see as we set those mats up for you on mat 3, we still have a pretty tight one going there between Allison and Perrin, and of course Wagner taking care of business, but it's not over yet.
Teskey had an escape to tie that up on mat 4.
Right there.
As we mentioned, 4 matches at once, folks. It's hard to concentrate on just one thing.
I mean, you viewers at home, bear with us. We're going to do the best we can to try and cover 4 mats. And you know, and all these kids, all these different schools. It's a lot to keep up with. As we were just talking before we went on air with when the 1A quarterfinals were going on out there. We missed 3 or 4 matches. Like, I cannot believe I did not see that match because I was busy watching this other match and it was already over. So, you know, that's the hard part about having 8 matches going all at the same time, or 4 here even in the semifinals like this. And, you know, it makes it a little bit tough. And when you get a state of Iowa with as many good wrestlers as you do, all wrestling in the same spot at the same time, it makes it difficult to follow all of them.
Yeah, also very difficult. One thing, we're lucky we don't have to bring on the consolation results. We have 4 mats of 3A consolations going right now, which we're deeply interested in, and it's team race wise it's great, but we don't get to see those. But there are
Mat 4, we got a situation brewing there, don't we?
Yeah, Jant's got himself in trouble with Laura, and that's the end of the second period, I believe. Mat 6,
Tristan Lara out of Fort Dodge, who was 4th last year at 106 pounds, moving up to 113 pounds this year.
Same path for Jant. They both placed last year at 106. Jant 7th, as you mentioned. Lara all the way up to 4th. Fort Dodge has 5 guys in this semifinal round, so they could make some noise. You mentioned their team race with Prairie. Could get interesting. Heck, if things go bad for Bettendorf, Fort Dodge would be nipping right at their heels. Pretty quiet on mat 3 between Perrin and Allison. 3-2, Allison leads.
Now it's going to be,
and it's just changed,
4-2. So Perrin from Southeast Polk only a takedown away right now, tying this match up.
He's got to find something.
So many of these matches come down to the third periods, late third period matches.
And I don't know if you'll fully agree, Mark, but at least in the semifinals, these guys are willing to be a little more aggressive than the finals and take chances. I mean, you got to, because you want to get into that final, but it seems like on Saturday night, a lot of guys get defensive.
You know, it's such a huge accomplishment to make it to the to the finals, and it'd be as they call it, a Saturday nighter. I mean, like, it's like once you get there, it's like, wow, you almost made it, you know, and then, you know, you see people like you mentioned, they tense up a little bit more. They're not, you know, as active out there, a little bit more conservative. But the semifinals, yeah, they definitely open up. But this is, in my opinion, this is, you know, probably the most exciting round for me to be able to watch.
Agreed. Always agreed. Looks like Teskey picks up a 7-4 win. He comes back, stays ahead of McGuire Midkiff to move on to the finals. So the freshman stays undefeated, too. Mark, this is an undefeated 3A wrestler, one of the 5 left. Of course, there were only 6 coming into the tournament. But he gets by Midkiff, so he goes on to the finals. Now, who he'll meet there will be determined in 1 second when looks like Allison holds on against Gage Perrin of Southeast Polk to advance. So it'll be Allison, another CIML matchup in the finals at 106. Allison of Waukee will take on Teskey of Fort Dodge. Wagner in total control on mat 5 for Bettendorf.
That's a big lead over there from Wagner of Bettendorf. He's got his major decision, so that's an actual extra 1 team point, 1 bonus point for the team by Wagner getting that major decision over there. Only 15 seconds left in that match to go, and he's up 18-8, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to hold on to that one. Right down here on mat number 6.
Looks like time's running out on Austin Jant.
Yep, Lara up by a score of 11-5 right now. So it's going to be Lara advancing over Jant.
Wagner with the 20-8 major decision victory for Bettendorf. And another thing, Mark, that is important here in this semifinal round, the points. 11-point victories in this round, 11.5 for a major, 12 for a tech fall, and of course 13 for a pin. So huge points in the semifinal round. So that's where we say these teams can make some